Hey everyone, once again, this is Meng, and I use he, him, and his pronouns. In the first half of this module, I will go over restoration ecology as it relates to the health of an ecosystem. From there, I'll talk a little bit about the legwork that goes into getting a site ready for the big planting day. Lastly, I will touch up on the different plant stocks that we will plant out in the field. Restoration is a big part of what we do, and I want to take a moment to define it. According to the Society of Ecological Restoration, it is the process of assisting the recovery of an ecosystem that has been degraded, damaged, or destroyed. Browsing over that definition, a word that sticks out to me is assisting. Humans are part of the ecosystem, so you and I play an important role in helping to repair it. This is where Friends of Trees comes in. We put on events that bring people and communities together. Fantastic volunteers like you help to pull ivy, cut back blackberries, and plant native trees and shrubs. Most of our planting sites occur close to a riparian habitat, so it is important to have many diverse plants around it. The dense vegetation provides shade to reduce water temperature. Salmon and trout live in these creeks and need cool temperatures, less than 64 degrees Fahrenheit, to survive. A few degrees higher, and they suffer heat stress, which can lead to sickness, even death. Another way to keep the water cool is to do restoration work near the headwaters. This is the source of a creek or stream. By planting fast growing trees like red alders, they can provide cover in a much shorter time. As these trees mature, they can provide more benefits besides shade. During heavy rainfall, the vegetation along stream banks will slow down rainwater into it. The leaves slow down rainwater by intercepting it before it reaches the ground, preventing the displacement of soil particles. This reduces how much dirt and debris enters it. The cloudier the water becomes, the more food and shelter it can provide for pathogens. Harmful bacteria and microorganisms can thrive, leading to an outbreak in waterborne diseases. We won't feel the immediate effects of these plantings because it takes years for trees to mature. When they reach that point, they can then provide shade and keep water temperatures cool. This will benefit many aquatic creatures as well as you and I. Now, the stuff that helps plants grow is soil and is rich in nutrients. Minerals, dead organic matter, and living organisms are the things that bring it to life. Plants will take up nutrients from the ground, herbivores will then eat them, and in turn be consumed by carnivores. As the plants and animals die, they will decompose, returning those nutrients back into the ground. The cycling of nutrients flows from soil to plant to animal, then back to the soil again. This cycling helps maintain the nutrients needed to sustain life. The more porous the soil, the better it is at allowing for root growth and the absorption of nutrients. As these roots grow, tiny root hairs will form an association with fungi. This symbiotic relationship is known as mycorrhizae and is found in 90% of land plants. The roots provide the fungi with nutrients that it's not able to get. In return, the fungi mass increases the surface area of the plant roots. This allows for more nutrients and water to be absorbed, resulting in a healthier plant. Above ground, these plants will act as the lungs of an ecosystem. They absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and give off oxygen. They also act as the liver by filtering out pollutants such as nitrogen dioxide. Human activities create this through the burning of fossil fuels. As these pollutants drift in the wind, they can get trapped on the waxy, hairy leaves of trees and shrubs. This reduces the amount that it's in the air and inhaled by humans and animals. Animals depend on plants for food and shelter, so having plenty of them is important for the health of an ecosystem. Pollinators, such as bees and butterflies, visit blooming flowers for their tasty nectar. Small rodents, like squirrels, stock up on nuts and seeds in the fall. And birds like the chickadee nest in old tree cavities using moss as their nesting material. Studies have shown that having a variety of plants results in more habitat for animals. At Friends of Trees, we plant various trees, shrubs, and herbaceous plants to encourage this. As cities become more developed and expand outwards, urban spaces will become fragmented. Connecting these areas allows for animals to safely move and find food, reducing the number of human and animal conflicts. The connectedness also lets animals adapt, adjust, and move in response to climate change. Before we can start planting, Friends of Trees has a lot of behind the scene work to prepare a site for its big day. The first thing involves securing funding for a project. Once selected, an assessment is completed and restoration plans are developed. Contractors are then selected to treat dominant non native plants. In most of our sites, we deal with English ivy, Himalayan blackberry, and reed canary grass. Crews are also contracted out to cut back blackberry and pull ivy. This entire process takes about 1 to 3 years. This next part is the most exciting. When a site is ready, a green space specialist will create a plant list. They will consult with project partners about the desired outcome and select the best plants based on the site conditions. Friends of Trees will then recruit volunteers to plant native vegetation. Afterwards, it is maintained for up to 10 years. This involves watering the site, monitoring for plant survival, and planning future plantings. In this last segment, I will go over the different types of stock plants that Friends of Trees works with in our green space program. There are 4 types, though only 3 of these are commonly planted. These are containers, bare roots, ball and burlap, and live stakes. First, let's take a look at container plants. These come in a variety of sizes, and Friends of Trees commonly plants 1 gallon. The unfortunate part about working with this stock is the roots. As they grow in the pots, the roots will start to circle around the plant and suffocate it. This affects its ability to get water and nutrients. Once freed from the container, make sure to loosen the root ball by gently massaging it with your hands. This will help the roots to spread out as it grows. Next up are bare roots. They are both large and small stalks. These are dormant plants that have been dug up and refrigerated without any soil around their roots. Once placed in the ground and water, it will then start to grow again. A few things to point out about this. It is the smallest of the stalks and most fragile, with branches that can be easily confused for roots. Following this is the ball and burlap, also referred to as B&B for short. This is a tree that has been grown in the field as a seedling to a specific size and dug up during the dormant season. This is the largest of the stalk types and will come with roots wrapped in a burlap sack. Occasionally it comes with a wire cage around it for support during handling. An important thing to note is to never try and break or crack open the pack root ball. The last type of stock plant we will work with is live stakes. Usually, these are water-loving pioneer species such as willows and dogwoods. These are dormant cuttings of branches without twigs and leaves that go into the ground. This stock is much easier to handle compared to other types since it's much easier to transport. At Friends of Trees, these are not as commonly planted as the others. As a volunteer, you will help to restore native plants to this region, which is critical for a city's infrastructure. Healthy forests can cool a city during a hot summer, absorb pollution, release oxygen, and provide an escape from the bustling city. The ecological services that plants provide are essential to life, and our events educate people on this. Volunteers will build a personal connection to the land and help to retain urban spaces for future generations.